Okay, so good afternoon. In this video, we're just going to focus on clearing up a couple of things when it comes to the game Fortnite without actually regurgitating or repeating myself, stuff that I've already said in other videos. I'm not going to bring that back here. I might reference a couple of things, but other than that, we're going to keep this laser focused. It goes without saying that certain games aren't going to be for everyone. Some people are, for example, into last man standing kind of games, while others are not. Some people like Minecraft, some people hate Minecraft. So, I mean, that's pretty basic stuff, right? We all know this. It's something that I think everyone should keep in mind anytime they're hearing a game review or someone doing any kind of critique for anything. However, I am here to say that I don't agree with the people saying that Fortnite is complete shit. It has nothing going for it. Another example of what I've been hearing is that this game has no identity, that it's essentially a game that is duct taped together using different game genres. And while I do agree to a certain extent when it comes to this game having inspirations from other game genres, I think it's a little bit unfair to sit there and act like this game has nothing going on, that it's just a rip-off from all these other games. So as you may or may not know, I'm not a big fan when it comes to the business side of things, when it comes to this game, the business model and things like that, okay? Now, this is just my personal opinion, but I feel that some of these people feel the same way, but instead of telling you in a direct way, they're just going out there and telling you the game is shit, because it's a lot easier to go about it that way, while also being able to avoid certain kinds of criticism and controversy by handling it that way. The thing with me is, and I'm sure with many other people, I understand that when it comes to the business side of things, that's on Gearbox. They've pulled some greedy shit before, it seems like they're pulling some greedy shit now, and that has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of the game or the developers, who I believe deserve a little bit of credit here. I think the game is a unique experience. I think the art design is amazing. I think quite a few things about this game, including attention to detail when it comes to the environment, quite a few things. Like I said in other videos, this game has a lot of good things going on. Regardless of what I think when it comes to the business model, the game is fun to play. And of course, it should go without saying, but that's my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people that share the same feeling when it comes to the business model, they also feel that way. They also feel like this game has a lot of good things going on for it, that it is a blast to play. I feel that the building mechanics are incredibly intuitive. I myself am not a huge fan of building games, and that's because whenever I'm envisioning something, it never really comes to fruition. It's like I know what I want to build, I know what it's going to look like, but I just can't, in other words, I pretty much suck at most building games. But with this one, I feel like I can actually put something together, at least very close to the way I intended it to be. And that is, of course, not because I got better overnight at building games. Instead, it has everything to do with this building system being fairly simple to use. More importantly, it took a very short period for me to understand how to use the system, which, may I add, just speaking again for myself, is extremely addictive. I spent so many hours just creating my base, and there wasn't even an incoming wave or a mission, none of that. I just wanted to spend time building my base. I wasn't getting anything from it, there was no experience or reward involved. For me, the reward was seeing what I could actually create, okay? And if I could outdo myself when it comes to the complexity of the structures. So, much props to whoever created this building mechanic, because not only is it sleek and intuitive, it's really simple to use and fun to use. I also think the smashing, anytime you're tearing any kind of building or structure down, you're playing this little mini game, I think that's incredibly neat and intuitive as well. It's so fun to smash stuff in this game, like I'm smashing stuff constantly just because I can. After you play any game for an extended amount of time, certain things will start to wear off. That's just the nature of the beast. When I say things, I'm talking about the initial impact of good game design, you know, the wow factor. Sometimes you're exploring new areas, it's amazing, but once you've been there, done that, it's less amazing. It's just how it is with video games, right? Or even movies. Once you've watched them so many times, it's like, you know, not as interesting. It's just the way it goes. But I will say, Now, for me, when I first started playing this game, I was kind of blown away when it comes to the exploration side of things. I'm not really sure exactly why that is. I can't really place my finger on one thing, and I think that's because it's a combination of different things, including the art design, which again I think is very well done. It's enticing, it draws you in. And so when you are drawn into a game's atmosphere, a game's world, more often than not, that's because the game art is well done. That's because the lighting is well done. Quite a few different things, and I think when it comes to this particular game, I personally feel that it does have its own identity. I think it has a certain look. At the end of the day, I don't regret anything when it comes to my experiences with this game. I had a good time to the point where I was somewhat addicted at first, okay? I want to make it clear that when it comes to how I feel about the business model, that's completely different than how I feel about the game. And it's also worth noting that because I do appreciate and enjoy the game as much as I do, I feel all that much more bitter and sour due to all this nonsense that surrounds the game, okay? If that makes any sense. If I didn't give a shit about the game whatsoever, it'd be a lot easier for me to just say, screw this, let's move on to something else. A part of me is not ready to do that yet. I want to hang around a little bit longer. I want to see more that this game has to offer. And all I'm trying to say, when it comes to all that other stuff, it kind of makes it harder for that to happen naturally. Usually, with most games, when you're putting in a lot of hours and things like that, you have fruits of your labor, right? You have all these items and things that people that played a lot less than you don't have. And with that said, anytime you have a game where you can spend some cold, hard cash in order to actually catch up and surpass people who have put in a lot more time and effort than you, well, yes, you can see how that might actually rub people the wrong way. Now, if this game was totally free to play, I would have no issue with this whatsoever. But when you have a paying audience, I think maybe, just for the time being, because we aren't the free-to-play crowd, well, the $40 standard edition, we are the free-to-play crowd. I'll get more into that in just a second. But because you are actually charging an entry fee, maybe just tone down some of that stuff a little bit. And the stuff I'm talking about is the free-to-play microtransaction nonsense. Okay, just turn that down a notch. That's all I'm asking. Now, when you're getting the standard edition, the $40 price point, you're essentially just getting access to their free-to-play game. Okay, if you're getting a higher tier, you're getting much more than that. Let me just explain something. A buddy of mine started playing about a week later than me. He had the $150 edition. And I'm like, dude, not only are you not playing as much as me, you started a week later and you're only 2 levels behind me? Like, what the hell? It was actually the first time I got to play with my buddy, and it was like, okay, I should drop him a gun or something because I've been playing much longer. In my mind, I'm conditioned to think I'm ahead of him when it comes to items and all these other things, and I dropped a gun for him, and he kind of looked at it like, hey dude, I don't really need that, but I'll take it. You know, I mean, here's the thing, a lot of this comes down to RNG. Okay, so you might end up getting a standard edition and get a couple of lucky pulls from the llama. I feel myself that had happened when I think I got to level 25 or 26 in the collections, and they gave me 500 V-Bucks and ended up getting some nice stuff. So there is no blueprint per se when it comes to, okay, I'm going to put in so many hours and this is what I can expect. To a certain degree you can, okay? But again, a lot of it comes down to luck. But when all is said and done, the more money you can afford to throw at this game, the more likely you can get that luck to bend to your will. That's just the way it is. That is a fact. So with that out the way, I just want to quickly say I'm not here to try to convince you what to do with your money. I would never do that. In fact, you only live once, dude, and if you can afford to get into this game at any tier and that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm not here trying to tell you what to do and what not to do. At the same time, I hope you would understand that I feel that there's certain information I feel obligated to share with my peers before they go ahead and make that decision, which, to be honest, is probably more helpful for people that don't have all this money to burn. that do have to maybe spend a little bit more carefully. But more importantly, some of the things that I consider to be issues when it comes to this game might not be issues for you. You might see things completely differently. You may have more tolerance when it comes to certain things, and that is perfectly okay. And here's another thing. As far as recommending this game, I actually did. And that's because I like the game a lot. But the person left me a message like a day later. I was going to share it with you, but I don't know if I should put their name out there. I should maybe ask them in case you guys don't fucking believe me. But that person left me a message saying, hey dude, what's up with this paywall? You know, and I felt like a complete asshole. Here's the thing. I was reading what everyone else was reading on the internet, but I'm the type of person that wants to experience something firsthand. Okay? Although in my heart I realized, okay, there's quite a few people talking about this, not just one or two. So they're on to something. There's definitely something here. Here's another thing I wanted to quickly share with you guys, then I'm going to end the video. I only had a fraction of playtime. Many of us that got into this when it was released on early access, we only have a fraction of game time compared to these alpha players, okay? And as much as we like to think we know it all, I myself feel like, okay, if these alpha players are saying certain things, and of course you shouldn't believe everything you hear and see on the internet, but if it's more than one or two people, okay, it's quite a few people saying the same exact things, or maybe, quite possibly, there's something to it, and more than likely there is. Bottom line is this, I like the game, I just don't like the idea that they're treating people like free-to-play customers, people that are paying good money, $40, which I think, personally, even $40 for a beta, for a game that's going free-to-play next year, I think it's pretty good. And then you have people, of course, paying $60, $150, and I guess even $250 for a special edition. And although the people that are paying premium price points say that 5 times fast, they are guaranteed certain items. They aren't guaranteed good RNG. So there's that too. So the only thing I'm trying to say is that I wish they would tone things down a notch when it comes to the free-to-play stuff. Some people argue, and I tend to agree with them, that they should have this system shut off until it actually goes free-to-play. I mean, we're paying customers, just let us play the game, let us get our schematics, let us get our fucking groove on. You know what I mean? I will say that if it was free-to-play, I probably would buy a couple of llamas here and there because I feel like I did get my enjoyment out of it, but that feeling isn't really as strong. And although, again, I did get this as a gift, I felt like, okay, somebody did in fact pay for this, and I think that should be enough, but that's the whole thing, right? What's enough? What's enough nowadays? Anyways, I hope you enjoy your Sunday. I hope you enjoy your new episode of Game of Thrones tonight. I can't wait. That's all I got for today. I hope you're staying out of trouble and staying safe. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I noticed that I'm getting some new subscribers. I want to say thank you. That's very kind for you to subscribe. I know that there's thousands of channels, and my channel is not really all that much better or different, right? But you still chose to subscribe anyways, and I appreciate that. When it comes to the people that have been around since day one, there's not many people left. And also, I have quite a few fucking subscribers that, I don't know, like, they're just there. But yeah, I'm going to do something special. I wanted to squeeze it in this weekend, but I don't think it's going to be possible. Let's shoot for Tuesday. In any event, I will be updating you formally, so just keep an eye out for that. Okay, guys, I'll see you later.